Good night, boys.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl.
What up, Brad?
What up?
I heard you got a new house.
Yeah, I literally just moved in here like a month ago. So welcome to my humble abode.
Can we get a house tour?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
So this is gonna be like a raw and unfiltered house tour. The first thing you notice is that this is not like a big ass mansion with like freaking 5 useless cars in the garage. No, this is exactly where I work and where I live. And yeah, this is just going to be extremely chill.
Brad, this is an upgrade from what you used to stay in last time.
I used to stay with my parents, right, for the longest time. We stayed in this like tiny 3-bedroom apartment. And that was where I did majority of my content, my trading, my meetings. And for the past 1 year or so, I've made sufficient money from trading. So I decided to put all my trading profits, or like 90% of my trading profits, to get this house, paid the entire house with cash. No debt, no mortgage, none of that bullshit. Purely financially free right here.
All right, how much did this house cost?
This house cost about 1.62 million, but like it was valued at 1.8 million, but I managed to negotiate it with like the owner to get in at like a good price.
Oh my God, full cash is crazy. All right, let's see the house. Honestly, Brad, we just really want to see your trading setup, so can we see that first?
For sure, man. This is where I spend like 90% of my time, right? In this room itself. This is the studio, this is the content studio, and this is also where I do my deep work, right? So it's like all in one. So over here, you can see this is my entire trading setup. The first thing you notice is that there is no 5 different fucking monitors, because I like to focus on one thing, one asset class, one trading strategy, one screen at a time. And this really allows me to just put all my energy, attention, and time on like the task at hand, right? So yeah, big believer of man can't multitask. So this is the entire setup itself. We got the MacBook Pro right here, fully spec'd out, connected to the studio display with the little magic keyboard right here. And then we got the iPad at the side. AirPod Max here as well. Really believe in the entire ecosystem. It's just so smooth, like the entire user experience that Apple has created for me. And then we got this desk and like a bunch of other equipment like the SM7B mic. This is the mic that I usually use for my live trading sessions. And this is the chair that I'm sitting most of the time at. And this chair is so freaking comfortable. Like I can just sit on this thing for like 18 hours a day.
What brand
like,
is that?
It's Herman Miller.
Wow, how much is it roughly?
I don't know, around 2,000.
Okay.
So yeah, and then we got like the blue light blockers right here, so that I can actually stare at the charts very, very long without my eyes drying out. And over here we got this beautiful view. I think this view makes any losing streak, any drawdown feels comfortable and satisfying and durable. And yeah, that's pretty much like the entire setup that we have right here. You can see super duper minimalistic. There is no like very complicated trading setup whatsoever, because I really just believe in the ability to just do one thing well for an extended period of time. And before I forgot, but what's on the screen right now is Edgeflow. So this is the world's first trading super app that I'm building right now, where you can do your execution, you can do your journaling, you can do your reviewing, you can do even your meditation on there, right? So it's like an all-in-one trading super app that allows you to conduct your pre-market routine, your trading routine, and your post-market routine.
Brad, this is honestly a lot less things than I thought a 7-figure trader would have. I thought you would have a lot of screens and a lot of gadgets, but it looks like you're tuned into one thing only.
I believe that anything that doesn't move you closer towards your goal is simply a distraction. It's like whatever thing that I have on my desk right now, it just allows me to just, like I said, just pour all my energy into like the task at hand, be it scripting the video, be it trading, be it having meetings with my team. And yeah, it just allows me to just stay locked in. Yeah, and I just can't deal with like multiple monitors. It's just me.
Brad, do you design the panels behind you?
So yeah, this is the banner that I've like get someone to put up for like the content studio. And there was like a bunch of different colors when it comes to like the filtered wall panels. And I decided to go for this one because it's unique. You know, the one that is like the light oak color. A lot of YouTubers use that one, or like the black one. So yeah, this just fits the entire vibe of the studio. And at the same time, it represents who I am, you know, mature as wood right there.
That's good, that's good. And then moving on to, you have a nice bookshelf over there. We can see from your past YouTube videos, this is the same bookshelf that has been throughout all your videos since you were from 100K all the way to 1 million. Tell me
Yes,
about,
sir.
let's see the sacred bookshelf. What books do you have?
Yes, sir. So over here, we got a lot of different books because I love to read. I believe that reading is a superpower. You are literally able to obtain decades of knowledge just in like a few hours if you are reading like a good book. So yeah, there's all sorts of books. We got books from investing, self-improvement, philosophy, communication, business books, entrepreneurship books, whatever, everything is in here, even like physical books as well. But yeah, you can see there's just a lot of books right there. And my favorite trading book right now is honestly the Playbook by Mike Bellafiore, right? So this allows you to look in the lens of like how a professional trader operate day to day, right? How they actually manage a shit ton of money and how they actually think and trade like one, right? So that they can get the results of one. Yeah, and then on top over here, we got the play button, right? This is the silver play button, which I got when I hit my first 100K subscribers. And then this is the one that I got when I hit my million subscribers. This is like a dream come true for like 13-year-old Brett who was like recording and editing his own gaming first-person shooter videos. And he was so happy when he hit his like first 256 subscribers back when he was like 14 years old. So yeah, this is a dream come true. I love it. I'm so proud of this. Like this thing, it means the world to me. Yeah, but that's the entire setup right there.
So when's the 10 million one coming?
Next year, let's get it. Alright.
All right, Brett. Now let's take a look at your living room.
So this is actually my living room, right? It's very compact, it's very minimalistic, but yeah, it's all I need to live like a good life. So I think the first thing you probably notice is like this giant painting right here. I actually saw this painting back when I was in a museum in London, and it immediately like just captured my attention and just got me intrigued. Like, what is this painting about? And then later on, I found out that this is actually the School of Athens, which is painted by Raphael. So back in the Renaissance era, there was three great painters, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and then there's Raphael. And it's basically a painting that consists of all the greatest thinkers in one place. And I think if you look in the middle, you will see Plato pointing up because he believed in truth and ideas. And then you can see Aristotle on the right-hand side pointing forward because he believed in staying grounded in reality, right? And you can see these two different people represents like different ways of living. And I think a healthy sweet spot is like just incorporating both of those ideas itself. And you can see like there's a lot of different people over here. And I think the main thing that I want you guys to really see, I want to talk about is like this guy right here. His name was Diogenes. He was like the head of cynicism, right? Cynicism. Anyways, his name is Diogenes and he was the head of like this school of philosophy called being like a cynic, right? And there was this famous story of how he met Alexander the Great, where, you know, Alexander the Great was like a 20-plus-year-old guy who have just conquered the world, and he met Diogenes and he asked Diogenes, is there anything he can do for him, right? Like, I can give you anything you want. And then Diogenes replied, I just want you to get out. Just get away from, because you're blocking my sunlight, right? So to me, I was like, holy fuck, this guy has figured it out, man. Like, this guy just knew that freedom is not about desiring more, but about desiring less. So yeah, he's just like a reminder of the fact that you should just be indifferent to wealth, right? You shouldn't try to strive for more, but rather just strive to be content with what you have. Yeah, but at the same time, be grateful, but never be satisfied. So you can keep on grinding.
Brett, wait. Why a painting? Like, why not like just, I don't understand what made you so intrigued into this painting in the first place.
So this painting actually represents mastery, curiosity, and lifelong learning. All of these are like virtues that I'm trying to develop right now. And I think whenever I look at a painting just like this, it just reminds me of the person that I want to become. You know, a great thinker, someone who actually practices what he preach, and someone who doesn't compare or compete, but just focus on mastery.
Dude, you have your whole house in check with yourself, dude. It's really good. Interesting. The first thing when I came to your house, I noticed that you have a lot of notebooks, a lot of journaling written down. Can we take a little peek into what a seven-figure trader writes in his book?
So this is interesting because like I created this back when it was like 2020, right? So when I first started trading, I tried every single trading strategy under the sun. I tried smart money concepts, I tried ICT concepts, I tried price action, I tried indicators, I tried everything. And then what I realized was that I became super duper confused. I became very overwhelmed because like every single trading strategy that I tried worked. And then that's when I realized that, you know what? I need to figure this shit out, right? And I need to find that one strategy that worked. But the thing is, everything worked. So later on, what I've done is that I've bought like a plain notebook just like this. And then I've written down every single trading concept that I've learned, right? From, liquidity concepts, from ICT concepts, fair value gaps, from like freaking price action. And this is where I didn't just write things down. I also go and tested it. I actually go and backtest every single one of these trading concepts. Take a shit ton of trades, backtested everything across like a large sample size of data. And then I found out that, okay, all of this strategy works, but there are some parts within all of these different schools of concepts that is more profitable. So I pretty much just distilled the entire trading strategy to just extract what works, right? The most profitable concepts, and just got rid of like all the fluff which like just doesn't work. And together it became my market mechanics playbook, which pretty much comprises of every single profitable part of every single strategy that I've gotten my hands on, right? So from price action, it was the concept of selling pressure and buying pressure and momentum. And then from smart money concepts, it was the concept of liquidity and imbalance and market structure. And then from ICT, it will be like order blocks, right? So different concepts all distilled into one notebook just like this. And then later on, when it was like 2024, I decided to share all these strategies on my YouTube channel and with the 1% Club. And so far, it has changed millions of lives, right? So it all just stems from like this one notebook right here, which didn't came from like an academic textbook or like didn't came from, watching a bunch of videos. It came from trial and error, right? Just burning accounts and just losing a shit ton of money and figuring out what works and what doesn't work.
How long did it take for you to write the book?
Probably like 1 year.
1 year.
1 year. You can see it's so in-depth. Like till today, you can literally see all the little diagrams that I've drawn, right? So I just want you guys to remember that I was once just like you. I was like a student of the market, and I still am right now. But like, I was in your exact position, learning all of this stuff, and I realized that a lot of trading gurus complicated stuff. That is why I created this channel, right? To simplify all of these complex concepts in a way that like a 5-year-old can understand. And I think that's why our channel blew up.
If there's only one thing I can steal from your house, right? I think I'll take that and I'll run away. The thing is probably worth like...
This is the Bible right there, the trading Bible.
We have another book also, right? I don't know what the book is, but I'm curious to know.
So this is actually my old trading journal back in 2021, right? So inside here, I wrote down every single mistake that I've committed in my first 2 years of trading. If you flip to like just the first page, you can literally see failed FTMO 50K challenge back on August 2021, right? So every single mistake, every single loss that I've committed, I actually put it in here so that I can actually learn from the mistake. And yeah, man, like to me, this is just like taking a trip down memory lane. It's like traveling back in time. And that is why I always say that you have to journal your trade, not for yourself, not for your current self, but for your future self. Your future self is going to be thanking you for not repeating the same mistakes. And the only way to be aware of like the unconscious patterns is if you put them down on paper and you actively review them.
So how many books have you collected over the years? You journal a lot, right?
Dude, I think I got like a few other trading journals in here. It's like so many freaking trading journals.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's too many, bro.
Do you have the one from the day one you just started?
Day one, probably this one. It's probably this one right here. This is like the notebook. Bro, this is actually crazy because like you can actually see like the first time I actually learned about price action. The first time I learned about Fibonacci, chart patterns, candlestick patterns, and like these are like the notes that I've written down. And I put this like sticky note to remind myself of like this beautiful quote by George Soros. It's not whether you are right or wrong that's important, but how much money you make when you are right and how much you lose when you're wrong. Yeah, man, this is the day one right here. The black notebook.
God. All right.
This shit is like from fucking years ago, bro. Like, this is like 2019 shit, man.
2019.
Okay, so over here we got my cute little feature desk, my TV desk right here. And this photo is a photo that I've taken when I completed like my basic military training. The person behind the camera right now was actually my buddy for this, right? So we will introduce him probably like in the next vlog. But yeah, this is me. And then this is like a trophy that I think my sergeant made for me when I graduated from the military. My name there and the hardest machine gunner.
Can I just say when we were taking that photo, we were all was like, all right, let's all look as cool as possible. Let's all look as hard as possible.
As alpha as possible.
What a life, man. This is a memory right there. Then we were all there was a mirror beside and we were like checking each other out. I was like, all right, bro, do I look cool enough? Do I look cool enough? So yeah.
Good old times. This was like fucking 2 years ago, man. It's crazy, 2 years ago. Time flies. Yeah, but over here we got a bunch of like, I don't know, like these coins that I've gotten. This was from like a mission in Malaysia called Exercise Bersama Lima, which we trained with Australian, New Zealand, Malaysian, and UK soldiers. Yeah, and then we got like a bunch of other coins right here from the military, which is pretty cool. And I think the main thing I really want to show is like these badges right here. Dude, I don't think people understand how fucking difficult it is to get like one of these badge. Like, dude, it's like, this is not some like cosmetic shit, okay? Like you have to complete like some hard-ass mission to get one of these badges. But yeah, this was from like the deployment to Malaysia where we trained with like the 5 different countries. This was our second mission to Brunei. And then this was from, yeah, this was like after completing like a hardest mission that we got like this task force badge. And then this was like my company back in the military. And this is the hardest shit. This is like the hardest mission I've ever done in my entire life. To this day, like nothing comes close to how difficult this mission was. Yeah, but this was in Brunei. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, you can see some other cute badges right here.
Where do you paste them on, like when you were in the army?
We actually pasted them on like our vest, like our gear, right? Like I think either at the front of it or like at the back of it. But yeah, whenever we put on a badge just like this, we feel extremely proud because it's like we know the amount of shit we went through just to get one of these badges. Yeah, so it's like, it's pretty cool. Another part of the living room is probably like this dining table right here. This is a very nice marble table. I think this is the only piece in here that looks like really solid. So over here, I have my 1% club cap, and then I also got my edge flow cap, right? So whenever I'm doing something that's 1% club related, I just like put this on right here, be it a coaching call of the 1% club, so that I remind myself that I'm the head of the 1% club. And then I also got the edge flow whenever I'm, working with my developers to build like a new software. Like it's literally, the term where you're like wearing different caps? Yeah, like it's literally wearing different caps, right? So yeah, this is pretty much the companies that I own right now. Pretty solid. And yeah, nothing much right here except for like some fucking medicine
What
right here.
steroids do you take, Brett?
This is to make my bigger. This is actually, this is actually my brains. Okay, it makes me like more smarter. Yeah, it allows me to get lesser brain fog so I can actually think better.
Do you take nicotine or anything like nicotine gummies or?
No nicotine gums, none of that, like artificial shit.
How do you focus like on the training screen for so long?
Probably meditation. Meditation helps out a lot. Like it just strengthens your prefrontal cortex. Nowadays I just meditate like for 5 minutes every single day. Sometimes I do up to like 30 minutes. But I feel like meditation is like the biggest productivity hack, man.
Yeah, you tried to sell it to me last time, but I couldn't believe it.
You didn't do it after that?
I did it for 3 days. I was
Fucking.
done.
Yeah, you gotta do it for like 7 days, bro. Like fucking 9 days.
Yeah, Brett has been telling me.
So I've actually been doing it for like 89 days, right? So I did it for like the past 3 months, every single day consistently. And bro, my mood is just different right now. I'm as happy as a clown and as free as a seagull.
Did you journal it on each flow? The meditation?
Yeah, I actually did. And then another thing was that like, I opened up my 1% Club app, right? And I went to the community and I saw one of my coach, the trading performance coach, Sanjeev, he hit 1,000 days milestone, right? So he has been meditating every single day for the past 1,000 days. It's insane how he did it. Levels to the game, man. Levels to the game.
Sanjeev is namaste, dude.
Yeah, he's a monk. So this is the sanctuary. This is where no phones, no work is allowed here. It's just purely for sleeping. You can see like literally everything is optimized for a good sleep, you know. So yeah, I don't know whether you guys can tell, but I really love paintings. And this is something that I decided to put on the wall because it usually is supposed to be like a plain white wall and I haven't do any renovation whatsoever. And I want to look at something beautiful while I do my business or while I sleep. So yeah, like this is the painting that allows me to like just chill. Yeah, man, it's just like a hand-drawn mountain painting. It's pretty cool because you can actually like see the paint like getting dried up and shit.
Does it not remind you of Lancer? You have to climb a mountain.
Oh my god.
Then you cannot sleep already.
Yeah, it's like what I showed you earlier on. You know the batch where I talk about like the hardest mission I've ever done. We have to climb a mountain that's like this high.
With full gear and
A machine gun sling on my freaking neck.
yeah, hey, by the way, guys, not everybody carries a machine gun. Brad was chosen to carry the machine gun. And he's the skinniest dude.
The smallest dude in the freaking platoon, okay?
Brad, I see you have a couple of like sleep enhancement, Brian Johnson style.
Sleep enhancement, yes. So as you guys know, I optimize every single part of my life so that I can work better, so I can work more, so I can work longer. And over here, this is like my little nightstand. So we got books, right? I usually read at least for an hour before I actually sleep. Right now, the book that I'm reading is The Almanac of Neighbor Ravikant. I'm actually like rereading this book. I feel like there are certain books that is worth reading once, and then there are great books that is worth reading over and over again. And to me, The Almanac of Neighbor Ravikant is one such book. But yeah, my nighttime routine is I put my nasal spray, you know, Ashton Hall type thing. Ashton Hall, nasal spray. Yeah, because like I got this thing where my nose is just allergic to dust, so this helps out a lot. And then once that's done, I'll put on like this nasal strip so I can breathe better while I take my mouth to sleep, right? So like most of the time when I'm sleeping, I'll just be doing this. Like nasal strip right there. Yeah. So this is like a hack right here because it's like now your body has no choice but to use your nose to breathe. So you not only can intake more oxygen, but your jaw also gets sharper.
You're practicing this since like
3 years ago. I've been doing this back in the military. When we go to jungle, I would carry like this mouth tape thing as well. One thing is so that I can sleep better. Another thing is to prevent insects from like going into my freaking mouth.
Wait, you bring the outfield also?
Yeah, for the outfield. Like no cap, no cap. So that, you remember how we have to like wear camo and shit? Yeah, so there will always be this part that is like no camo when I wake up.
What? Let's see the jawline, dude. Look to the. Alright.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but yeah, man. Other than that, just a bunch of like eye masks, seal eye masks, and like earplugs. Yeah, like I said, man, sleep is so important to me. It's funny because like I usually wake up at like 5 or 6 a.m. But this morning, I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I slept at 10 p.m. So I slept for like 9 hours. Yeah, sleep is just important to me, man.
How many hours of sleep do you want to get?
Probably around 8 minimum. Yeah, but nowadays I don't sleep with an alarm clock or like alarm bell. Yeah, so this allows me to just wake up at whatever time that I want.
But you do business, alright? So then a lot of people are saying you have to grind and get as little sleep, 18 hours of work. What do you think?
To me, it's like I just measure everything by like output, right? Like you automatically get a lot more output if you have a good night's sleep compared to if you have like much lesser sleep. So there's a lot of like opportunity cost in there if you are sacrificing your sleep just so that you can like grind more hours, but then it's not quality work.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Sleep is important, kids. Allows you to think better when you're trading. Allows you to trade like a sniper. Good night, boys. Okay, so now for my favorite part of the house and what makes it actually worth fucking millions of dollars, $1.6 million, is the view at the balcony.
Brad, so what's your favorite part of this view?
Probably like the ocean. I think like every single day when I wake up, I'll be able to see like the sunrise from like the buildings, right, the CBD area, and it just really allowed me to just be grateful of everything. And I realized that everything in the market has a price. Nothing in the market is free. Profits cost discipline, consistency costs time, mastery costs practice, And if you're not willing to pay the price, then stop complaining about the results you have never earned.
Bro just dropped the hardest quote in 5 seconds. My God.
So it's funny because like when I'm looking at this view, there's like this warehouse area that you can see right there. That's where I used to work as a temperature screener back in like the COVID-19 pandemic. So people who are working at a warehouse will just drive in and I'll ask them like, what's the temperature? Yeah, so it's like back in the COVID-19 pandemic. And then before that, I actually used to work as like a office job, 9 to 5 sort of thing in one of the towers right there. That tower to be very specific. So yeah, like when I look at this view, it just reminds me of the jobs that I used to work, and I always just end up being very content with what I have. Like whenever I feel like, I don't have enough or I want more, I just sit here and I just look at this and I just think back about the past, and I'm just grateful of like how far I've came.
Brad, but the 9 to 5 is Monday to Friday. Your work now is Monday to Saturday. So you're working more essentially.
I think it's so important for people to find a work that feels like play. It's like right now, I'm working the hardest I've ever worked in my entire life. Like 12-hour days, wake up at like 6, work until like 7 p.m., sometimes even till like 9 p.m. from like Monday till Saturday. But from outside, it looks like work. But for me, it just feels like play. It's like I actually enjoy doing this stuff, creating content that will actually help people, trading, building businesses, building great products that will actually change life, and just overall making the world a better place. There's this quote by Napoleon which mentioned that it is your obligation to fulfill your destiny, even if it requires you to sacrifice happiness, comfort, and self-interest and pleasure. And the only way you can really live a great life, is by ensuring that you leave nothing on the field. And I think that's my philosophy every single day right now.
But I remember they asked you to choose between the city view or the ocean view. Why did you choose the ocean view?
Yeah, so I actually choose the ocean view because it represents who I am and what I'm building as well. The ocean pretty much represents tranquility, calm. And I think there's also like a study which says that if you actually look at the ocean while you're working, you automatically feel more calm and peaceful. So yeah, I just decided to prioritize my peace of mind instead of like having like a nicer, it's not really like a nicer view, it's like comparing apples to oranges, but I just personally prefer like a sea view. And plus like apartments, high-rise apartments just like this with like a sea view tend to appreciate better, right? It holds its value better. So this is my cute little kitchen. I don't really cook, so most of the time I just eat meal prep. And then the biggest game changer that saved me so much time is like this water filter, water dispenser thing. You get to actually choose like what temperature of the water that you want, whether it's cold water, room temperature water, or hot water, and you can choose like how much water you want to be poured into the cup itself, right? So yeah, none of that tap water bullshit right here. And yeah, man, like the thing is, it's such a simple thing. It costs quite a lot, but it saved me like so much time and energy, for like boiling water or like buying those bottled water. And yeah, it's just convenient, man. So as you guys know, I like my tea. I like my good green tea. So we got TWG, green, Imperial Sencha tea. A lot of this tea actually. 1 tea a day keeps the doctor away. That's what I gotta say. And then we got bread. If you guys watch the live trading episodes, you will know this is the bread I actually use to make good sandwiches. It's like a very healthy Japanese sort of like sourdough bread, and a bunch of like other stuff for my protein shake. And I've been running a lot lately, so just been taking some electrolytes. Elementi, if you're watching this, you have sponsored Modern Wisdom Podcast. Now it's time to sponsor the Trading Geek. Wink, wink,
Brad, can I take a look at what's in your fridge?
Nothing much, to be honest, right? So
Brad, I realized you got meal prep. Why don't you just cook your own meal?
just pull out one of this. So yeah, you can see the reason why I just order meal prep, even though I'm a fucking multi-millionaire and I can afford to eat at some pretty nice Michelin restaurants, is because of the fact that I just want to reduce my amount of decisions that I make throughout the day. And it also allows me to like stay fit and healthy as well. It's like it got all the nutrition in there, and it's like it doesn't consume much time, right? It's like this is like the biggest productivity hack right there. Just get meal prep. You will not only get healthier, but you will also get stronger because of all the protein. And you will also be able to be more focused since you are using up less decisions. And you're also gonna save time, right? Because now you don't have to go downstairs and get some food. So yeah, it's a overall huge W in terms of productivity.
Brad, why did you decide to choose a 2-bedroom over like a huge house?
So like, as you guys can tell throughout the video, I want to like optimize my output for work as much as possible. So when you have like a 2-bedroom apartment, there's a lot lesser maintenance to it, right? So lesser surface area to clean up. And you can look at the living room. You can see like the distance between like my bedroom to my study room, right? My trading setup. It's like so minimal. So I can literally just wake up and I can get like straight to work. And then once I'm done with working, I can just sit here and just eat dinner and then get to sleep. It's like everything is fully optimized so that I can work harder, longer, and better than everybody else. And yeah, man, like right now, I just bought this apartment because I don't feel the need of having like a 3 or 4 bedroom apartment as well. And I think the main thing that really drew me to this apartment was like the view and like just the ability to like have like a comfy little house, you know, that I can call home. Yeah, and you can also see like the distance to the bathroom is so minimal as well. So every single morning after I wake up, I straight away jump into like a cold shower. Once again, this is not to show you guys that, oh, this guy is like a fucking hustler, grinding sort of guy, but it's the fact that like, the reason why I do it is so that I can like just train my body to go, even though my mind doesn't want to go. And I think it's the same thing with trading, right? Like when you go onto the charts, you see your A+ setup, you just execute without hesitation, reservation, or fear. And yeah, the cold shower kind of trained that like mental toughness.
Brad, I remember you had like a morning routine that was like 7 hours long, but you cut it down, right? Why so?
Yeah, I pretty much used to have like a 8-step morning routine where I'll wake up and then I'll like work out and then I'll like journal and then I will do a cold shower and then I'll meditate and then I'll like do all sort of fancy shit like reading a book. But then what I've realized is that when you wake up, that is where you have like the most amount of energy. So as the day passes, your energy slowly starts to like diminish, right? It starts to get lower and lower, which also means that you need to be doing like the most meaningful tasks, right? Like the hardest tasks at the morning when you have like the most amount of energy. And this is why I often make sure that I don't really take meetings in like evening timing. I try to stack it up in the morning because that is where my mind is working the best after like a good 8 hours of sleep. And yeah, it just allows me to just get straight to work rather than spending time mentally masturbating by doing all of this fucking morning routine that doesn't move you much closer towards your goal. Because at the end of the day, like I said, anything that doesn't move you closer towards a goal is simply a distraction. So it's all about like input and output equation, right? So the more input, the more output you get. So yeah, man, if you are doing like a freaking 8-step morning routine, you are automatically reducing your input because now your morning routine is like 2 hour long. While other people who have just gotten that 2 hours of like work done in the morning. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire house tour. And to me, it feels kind of like a full circle moment because I grew up in like a tiny, cramped 2-bedroom apartment with my parents back when I was like growing up, and it was like really, really shit. And then now I'm actually staying in like a 2-bedroom apartment, right? But it's obviously like a much fancier apartment with like a 10 times better view. But I just want to remind you guys that you guys shouldn't be buying shit for the sake of impressing other people. And I think that's something that I've mastered really, really well, is to use money as a tool to become more happy yourself, rather than using it as a yardstick to measure yourself to other people, a yardstick of success to measure yourself to other people. And if you can just focus on utility over status, you're gonna be more wealthy. Okay, thanks for coming to my house. Now get your dirty feet out of my house. I'm gonna vacuum the floor right now. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. And remember, you're just one trade away. Which is saying about his ideas. Fuck man, I forgot what I want to say for this. So, Brad, go. Yeah, there. Yo, gotta take care. Gotta take this, you know? Yeah, that's like product placement right there, man. I think I need to show you the bathroom, right?
Wait, don't end the vlog on the toilet. Yeah. There's a men's fridge right there. It's literally nothing like but the essentials.
Yeah, man. I need myself a wife who can cook so she can store her groceries in there. Fill up my fridge. Ever traded like this?
Bro, I overslept. Market open. Oh, it's going up. It's going up. Okay, quick buy. 10 lots? Whatever. Okay. Bro, what was that week? I'm just gonna sell, man. Let me journal my emotion. Wait, is news coming up? Wait, let me check the charts first. What are they like a gazillion ads? Just so that I can trade.
When your system builds your discipline for you, everything changes. Edgeflow isn't an app. It's a trading partner that keeps you in control. This is your edge.